Here we go. All right, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm Nick from Australia. Welcome to the Rugby League Breakdown podcast, episode number 20. Hope you guys are doing well on this Wednesday night. It is 7:16 p.m. The podcast would normally be at 6 p.m., but obviously things have, I've had a bit of a tough day and all that situation, so I decided to extend it an hour. So we're underway for the podcast tonight. NRL Vid 090 will not be available tonight. He has had something come up, so tonight it's just going to be me and Sam doing it. Sam, mate, how you going?
Hey, I was just as you were walking in, mate, I was just looking at this Cowboys membership box. And funnily enough, it represents everything that's happening at North Queensland at the moment. It's just a box full of empty fucking promises, bro. I've had a fucking gutful, mate. So today, man, I sat in the car for 2.5 hours waiting in line to have someone cram a COVID test up both me nostrils, mate. And yeah, I hadn't had one done in about 6 or so months, man. And it felt like, I got invaded something fierce, mate. Bloody hell.
You're being attacked by the Canberra government.
I was a little bit. So I think the number is up to 67 cases here in Canberra. Yeah, man. So, but the good news is about 64 of those have all been linked up or all been accounted for. So there's only a couple that are sort of wandering around mysteriously a little bit, if that makes sense. So, but other than that, man, I went and did my COVID test. So that should come back negative because I haven't been to any of those places that have said that has come up as a place where as a place of risk. So yeah, and then I just came home, had a kip, and now I'm here with you, man. Let's get stuck into it.
Yeah, mate, it's going to be a good show tonight. Make sure you guys do like this, the Rugby League Breakdown podcast as well. Make sure you like the stream. The live chat is always very entertaining and absolutely fantastic. And if you're new around here, subscribe to the channel. Hit the subscribe button, for fuck's sake. Turn the notification bell on. What are you waiting for? You're not going to regret it. You're going to really enjoy it. Sit there with your Coca-Cola or your packet of chips or whatever it may be. Hit the subscribe button. You will not be disappointed. Tonight, me and Sam are on. We are just two Cowboys fans living away from Townsville. But normally NRL Vince would be here, but he's unfortunately got other things to do get done today. But hope you guys are doing extremely well. It's obviously been tough, everyone, with the lockdown and all that other shit going on in the world at the moment. But it's good to come on here and talk some rugby league. Sam, mate, are you still working at the moment or no?
No, taking time off work, mate. Trying to just stay away for as long as I can. And it's funny, well, not funny, but like if I stop now and wait for stay indoors for 2 weeks, if I can, if I'm still trying to figure it out, I get my shot at the end of 2 or 3 weeks. So I can stay away from it all, have my test come back as a negative result in the next couple of days, and then sort of just stay away from the fallout out there in Canberra and then get a shot. The Pfizer shot should be pretty golden, mate.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And holy shit, here we go. We've already received a $5 donation from Austin Flint. That might be a world record with donations, the quickest it's been. Let's get into it, boys. Hope you're both well. Thank you, Austin Flynn, for the $5 super chat donation. Now, I've already said it before. If you want to donate, feel free to do so. PayPal would be the preferred option because the money goes into my account immediately. If you do it on Super Chat, it can take a month to go in because of payments. And I was supposed to get paid from YouTube last Wednesday, so it hasn't fucking gone in. So, YouTube, what are you doing? Pull your finger out of your ass. I want to get paid, mate. I need to go to the supermarket and buy some fucking food. It's not at the moment. The world's gone mad, and it's not easy at the moment living anyway with fucking the situation going around the world at the moment. But guys, if you want to donate, feel free to do so. PayPal is the preferred option. But shout out to Austin Flynn for it. Sam, let's get straight into the show, mate. Topic number 5. James Maloney, he has announced his retirement at the end of the season. He is currently playing with the Catalan Dragons over there in the UK in the Super League. James Maloney, what a player he has been over all these years. Mate, how will you remember the career of James Maloney?
So he debuted in 2009 as a late-aged debutant. I believe he debuted somewhere about 23, 24 years of age for the Melbourne Storm back in 2009. Then he went to the Warriors, played in a grand final, went to Cronulla, played in a winning grand final team, and then Penrith Panthers. I think he just missed out on 150 or 250 first grade games in the
You've got
NRL.
the Roosters, bro. Roosters.
Oh, I did too. Thank you very much. I did too. Thank you. I knew I was forgetting one.
2013.
And, yeah, dude, I will remember him probably mainly for his sense of humor, but really, he was so tough, man. He would take massive hits. He would take whiplash, backlash sort of tackles and get straight back up from it. I remember the elimination final. He played for Penrith, and they took on New Zealand Warriors, and Isaac Luke just sent him base over apex, and he got straight back up. James Maloney, it was an enormous hit, but I'll remember James Maloney for his toughness.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. And, James Maloney he's a winner, and that's why he's called Jimmy Wins. He just wins all the time. He finds a way to get the job done. He's played for his country. He's played for his state. He's won 2 premierships. I will remember James Maloney as one of the best 5'8" of the modern era. He's just a winner. I know his defense was a little bit shaky, and that's understandable, but he was such a great player, James Maloney, and I'm hoping that he can win a grand final with the Catalan Dragons to go out a winner, because the thing is as well, the Catalan Dragons have never won the Super League. So if he used to finish off his career winning a grand final with the Catalan Dragons, that would be another great achievement he can tick off on his resume. But what a player he was, mate. In your opinion, with James Maloney, what club do you reckon he played his best football at?
I'd probably say either the Roosters or the Sharkies. I would have loved for him to either debut a little bit younger or stayed around at Penrith for a little bit a little bit more. But I would say probably Cronulla Sharks, man, just to get that club to its first premiership in 50 years, man. I think his best playing days were in Cronulla. Yeah,
the Sharks is definitely a club that you can easily say. I think the Roosters as well, because he was with so many great players as well, like Sonny Bill Williams, Boyd Cordner, Tupou, Minicello, Piercy, Hargraves, Orbo, Jake Friend. I think Sam Mole was there. Isaac Liu was there. I think the Roosters, he played his absolute best football at. Him and Mitchell Pearce, that was an incredible halves combination. Because I'm pretty sure they were the combination at Origin level at the time as well. And they were playing together week in, week out at Clubland as well. So I'm with you. Probably the Roosters and the Sharks. I'd say he played his worst at the Storm, only because he barely played there much. I think at Penrith he started well, and then 2019 when the Panthers missed the finals, there was a lot of backlash on Maloney. Everyone say, get rid of Maloney. He's ruining Nathan Cleary's development and all this, which you could argue that was the case, but, I wouldn't go that far. Maloney,
was that the time where Anthony Griffin was the coach, Nick?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. No?
Actually, no. 2018, it was Maloney and Cleary with Griffin. And then 19, it was Ivan Cleary.
Yeah. So it was a bit tumultuous anyway out there at Penrith, wasn't it? Because I think Gus Gould left around the same time as well.
It didn't really work out at Penrith, I think, the way they would want to. But I would say his best football was probably at the Sharks as well. I would probably have to agree with that. But the Roosters is an easy one to say. But the Sharks, I'd say he played his best football at the Sharks because he went to that side. They never won a comp. The expectation there wasn't at that high. And, they were a great side when they won the comp. Cronulla, Ben Barber, Maloney, Townsend, Ennis, Gallen, Fafita, Val Holmes. They had so much quality. But Luke Lewis, another one, Matt Pryor. But, yeah, what a player. And, I don't think there's anything negative you can say about Maloney. Yeah, he does a couple of dumb things on the field, but on and off the field, he's a great player.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Great career, Maloney, and let's hope that he can win the Super League with the Catalan Dragons in his final year over there in the UK. Righto. Topic number 4. Now, this is one that is going to be quite interesting. First one, so this is about rumours and signings, basically. Connor Watson going back to the Roosters on a 2-year deal. He declined a 3-year deal from Newcastle. He got offered to go over to the Super League. Trent Robinson, Connor Watson rang Trent Robinson and said, what is the best thing for me at the moment in my career? And it was basically advice. And Connor Watson's now going back to the Roosters. What are your thoughts on that whole situation?
So Victor Radley's got number 13 locked up. Connor Watson doesn't want to be starting from the bench, but such is the class and mind of Trent Robinson, he'll have no choice but to play off the bench, mate. Victor Radley is he wants to be an 80-minute player, but I suspect next year he'll be swapping with Connor Watson coming off the bench. I'm not surprised by this news, to be honest. He just seemed like one of those players that never really wanted to leave Eastern Suburbs. It may not be the case, but he just seems like he loves the club and he's really excited to go back to where it all started, sort of thing. But I mean, he what does it say about Adam O'Brien as the Newcastle Knights coach? Because it looks like he's a bit of a bit of a grub, a little bit. Adam O'Brien, I remember reading a story where at the Horses sometime last year, he was a bit intoxicated. Someone bumped into him and he goes, "Do you remember who I am? Do you know who I am?" And guy goes, "No, I'm sorry. I'm just working. I'm sorry. That won't happen again." He said, "I'm Adam O'Brien, the Newcastle coach. Fucking watch where you're going," sort of thing. That's what I read. That's what I heard in the news a few months ago now. So I don't know, man. That Newcastle look like a team that have gone all in on the game plan, but because Adam O'Brien's come from the Melbourne Storm, which is so strict and whatnot, it just looks like Newcastle are a little bit shaky as so far as trust goes. Goes down a two-way street. But back focusing on Cotter Watson on the signing, he won't be starting. He won't be starting next year, but he'll be coming off the bench, and I think it's a really good signing for Connor Watson because he's such a good player as well.
I'm going to respectfully disagree. I think he will be the Roosters' new hooker. I think he will be. I think he'll be the number 9. I think the Roosters have had a look at the market, seen what's available in the market at the moment. If you have a look at the market right now, there isn't a lot of great hookers available. And Connor Watson is so versatile. He can play that number 9 role really well. And you can bring Sam Verrills off the bench as that jersey 14, or even Lachlan Lamb, the rotate. Probably Sam Verrills. And, Victor Radley, just like what JC Jimmy Jam just said in the chat, Radley gets binned a lot. He could play a lot at jersey 13, which is another good point. So I think he's going there because Trent Robinson said, "Hey, we can start you at hooker if you want to try that." And he's played a lot of hooker at the Roosters in the past and at Newcastle when Brayley was injured. So I think Connor Watson going back to the Roosters is a huge signing for the Roosters, and I think he will play a hooker. I really do.
I just never would have imagined him liking or preferring to be a starting hooker instead of being a lock or coming off the bench sort of thing. I know he's played hooker a fair bit, but I don't think that's where he wants to be next year. I don't think so, but he'll kill it wherever he plays, man. He's such a crafty player.
He can play any position on the field. You can put him at fullback, 5'8", hooker, lock, back row, centre. He'll do the job. Yep. I think Connor Watson's in the category of very underrated and underappreciated. Everyone talks about, these great utility players, but Connor Watson, he is very underrated in my opinion. I think he's a great player, and he can literally play any position, which is what you need at your club. You need players that can play anywhere, and Connor Watson's a perfect guy. And the Roosters had Mitch Orbison for all those years playing every single position required. Connor Watson is absolutely perfect for that role. So I'm glad he's going back to the Roosters. It's a big loss for Newcastle. It's a big loss.
Enormous loss for Newcastle.
Huge loss.
They threw a big bank check at Connor Watson, and he
They did.
declined for less money, man. So that's another thing that can be said about the board and the Newcastle Knights coach as well.
It's a massive, massive signing for the Roosters. Big loss for Newcastle. It'll be interesting what Newcastle do, actually, because, they've got the Saifidi brothers locked up. They've got Barnett, Frizzell, and Fitzgibbon there. Are they going to move Barnett to lock and play Fitzgibbon on an edge? Are they going to start Brody Jones on an edge next year? Are they going to buy a versatile lock? Who knows what Newcastle will do, but I think Connor Watson to the Roosters is a very, very good signing. The other one that's quite interesting as well, Moses Mbye going to the Dragons next year. Now, he started his career at the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, I believe, and then he was at the Tigers. That didn't really work out. He's on like $850,000 a season, which is just ridiculous money for Moses Mbye. And now he's going to the Dragons on a pay cut. And some of the comments that Moses Mbye has come out and said have actually been quite good from him. He's come out and said that, oh, look, I'm not worth that kind of money at the moment. I need to go to a team where I can earn that respect back and that sort of money and whatever he said in the media. But do you think Moses Mbye to the Dragons is a good signing for them?
It's extraordinary what he said, saying that he was more of a hindrance to Michael Maguire's coaching. That's really stunning and real honest news and talk from Moses Mbye. But as a signing for St. George Illawarra Dragons, so what we've got Tyrell Sloan at fullback next year. We've got Ben Hunt and Jaden Sullivan at 5'8" next year. Moses Mbye could obviously slot straight on in at 5'8" as well. But if not, he's coming off the bench. Moses Mbye's coming off the bench, man. But he just needs to stay injury-free and come out just blistering next season, mate, because he's done nothing for a couple of years, man. Even on the pay cut that he's taken, he's got to come out and rejuvenate himself big time and prove himself once more.
So do you think it's a good signing or a bad signing?
It's a good signing. I'll say that it's a good signing so far, yeah.
All right. Moses Mbye to St. George, I'm going to say it's a shit signing. And I don't want to be negative. I really don't. I like Moses Mbye. I think he's a solid player on his day. But again, it's just not consistent. I think he's going there because he's probably been told by Griffin that he'll start 5'8" with Ben Hunt. But you get rid of Corey Norman, who is a disease, as I'm sure we're all aware of. Norman and Hunt don't work. Sullivan's had 3 or 4 games with Ben Hunt. Didn't really work. You got to put more time into that young Amon kid. I'm so glad he's starting this weekend for the Dragons against the Roosters. But in all honesty, what is Moses Mbye going to do? What is he going to do with the Dragons what Corey Norman hasn't already done? He's not a match winner. He's not going to be able to win tight games. Now, Corey Norman may be a bit of a bludger of a player, may not be the best player, but he's proven that he can kick those field goals in clutch situations. Moses Mbye on the other end, I haven't seen him do that since he left Canterbury. And look, personally, I don't understand where they're coming from here. The Dragons are letting go of Matt Duffy, but they're going to sign Moses Mbye. What? Why? Yeah. Hello? I think it's a really, really poor signing from the Dragons, and I can't see it working.
I think one of the reasons that I'm thinking of straight off the top of my head is it stops Josh Maguire going in a dummy half.
It does.
If injuries become the worst problem for him. Who's their main hooker next year, man?
McCulloch.
I can't remember. Oh, of course it's McCulloch. Yeah, right. So if he's done his ACL, he'll miss a couple of rounds next season. So maybe Mbye starts at hooker next season. I think he's more of a clean-up man, and at the moment, I don't think they have a real good clean-up man. They've got Adam Clune as an exclusive halfback, and you've got Jaden Sullivan, who I think has been named in jersey 14, but I see him more as a 5'8". So I think Mbye is a good purchase because I think he can be their clean-up man, so to speak.
Well, see, the biggest problem with signing Moses Mbye is you don't know what his best position is, because when he started at Canterbury, he was a halfback / 5'8", and then at West Tigers he played a little bit of fullback, a little bit of centre, a little bit of hooker again. Look, if he's going to go to the Dragons, he has to be in a starting spot. He can't be going there and playing the same role as he is at the West Tigers. So I think he'll be the 5'8" next year for the Dragons. I like the young Amon kid. He should be there, but I think Moses Mbye to the Dragons. I don't really like the signing. I don't know what they're thinking, but I'm against it, but I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Just on the Amon kid, maybe just another season, trying to get some games in reserve grade would do him the world of good. But let's remember that Mbye was Luke Brooks, and he's going to be working with Ben Hunt next season, who's an Origin veteran, mate. So I imagine his touches will probably be a bit more crisper and classier next season for Moses Mbye for sure.
I just think the young Amon kid has more spark and more attack than Moses Mbye. Moses Mbye can be a good jersey 14, but he's played some games this year. He's played some games at fullback, center, 5'8", hooker. He's done absolutely nothing. So I'm not a big fan of it. I hope I'm proven wrong here. I really do. I hope I'm proven wrong. I hope it comes out next year and absolutely kills it and makes me look like an idiot. But at the moment, I'm not really a big fan of the Moses Mbye signing. But the other signing that was announced today, Newcastle Knights bench forward Josh King is going to the Melbourne Storm. I'm a little bit disappointed about this. I was hoping he'd stay in Newcastle because I think he's been playing some fairly good football for the Knights this year off the bench, Josh King. But off to the Melbourne Storm. What are your thoughts on that signing?
My memories of him are a little bit, I don't know, just a bit. Yeah, I don't follow Newcastle Knights all that much. Josh King hasn't played all that many first-grade games. I think he must be 20 or thereabouts. But he could become anything under the Melbourne Storm coaching regime, mate. He'll be there next year when Craig Bellamy is still his head coach. So he could be absolutely anything. And just thinking about it now, Josh King has had I think he has scored a try in first grade, or he's come awfully close. He's done some good hit-ups, good line runs as well, courage runs. So yeah, no, all the best to Josh King, mate. But my knowledge of him is sort of limited.
Yeah, look, I think he's been playing fairly good at the Knights off the bench. I don't think he's ever started, so I think he'll be a good signing for the Melbourne Storm. I think he'll do really well there. And the other one that's been reported tonight on Channel 9 News was Adam Clune could be going to the Knights as a backup half. But I think really? why would you want to go there when I've got Jay Clifford there, Phoenix Crossland there, Tex Hoy potentially? Why would Adam Clune think about going to the Knights? I think Adam Clune would be better off. Look, I'll be honest. There isn't many clubs looking for halves at the moment. I think Adam Clune should go over to the Super League for a year and come back. That
would do him. I'd prefer to see him do that. I like the cut of Adam Clune's jib, mate.
He's been good, hasn't he?
I like him, man. Very, very trustworthy player. But I mean, they mustn't have great faith in Mitchell Pearce sticking around for more than 2 years, I guess.
Seems like it, yeah.
It seems like it, man. So, maybe he'll be a break glass in case of an emergency if Mitchell Pearce goes up and leaves early. But anyway, we're talking, hypotheticals there. But as a signing, as for right now, if he was in the squad today, it's a really weird purchase from Newcastle.
And the other rumour that has only been talked about for the last hour and a half is the Luke Thompson's been shipped around from the Bulldogs to go to a different NRL club. Apparently, Thompson's on about $800,000 a season. Apparently, the Bulldogs are willing to pay half of his salary cap if another club would want to be interested in him. And if Luke Thompson's available, what the fuck are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? We need a front rower. What are we waiting for? Pick him up. We need him. He would be perfect.
Yeah, that's stunning news, mate. As soon as he made his first grade debut in the NRL, Bulldogs and the media have all been in on him being the core for Canterbury Bulldogs' future, mate. And
he's the best fucking player.
Yeah, man. Yeah. For them to pay him half out, sort of thing, to go look elsewhere. That's really caught me off guard. I hadn't learned about it until just then. Oh, man, Cowboys, get your fingers out of your asses and do something fair dinkum.
Well, I'll tell you what, I know Luke Thompson was over in the Super League. He was the best forward over there. He's come to a shit club in Canterbury who have been absolutely disgusting ever since he came over. And I got to say, in a beaten side, he has been, without a doubt, their best player this year. Without a doubt. Now, I know the Tigers are interested in him. I'll tell you right now, if he goes to the Tigers, Luke Thompson, Stefano in the front row together, that is going to be a problem for other teams. That is going to be an absolute nightmare. But Luke Thompson, if he's available, come on. Todd Payton, you absolute gobshite idiot. Come to Townsville, mate. We need a great front rower. And I think Luke Thompson, at the moment, would be in the top 10 front rowers in the game. Whether people will agree with that or disagree, I don't give a shit. Everyone says Payne Haas is a top 10 front rower. Well, he clearly is. The Broncos are going shit house. The Bulldogs are as well. Thompson's their best player. But Luke Thompson, he would be a great signing.
He's worth a couple of penalties and errors every game, though, isn't he?
I mean, he has been suspended a couple of times, but that's because the NRL judiciary is broken, as I'm sure that we're both aware of. But if it does happen, I think it's a great signing for any club if he does leave.
Any club, mate. It's amazing. I thought Bulldogs were all in on Luke Thompson, mate,
I did
as
too.
the future.
What would you pay Luke Thompson right now?
Probably a little bit of a pay cut, 700 to 600, 600 to 700, something like that.
Good. At the moment, I think he's on about 800. So I think
it's the minimal pay cut, mate. Yeah.
The Bulldogs are talking about paying half of that. So,
wow.
For example, right, if the Cowboys signed him, the Cowboys would only be paying 400 of his salary, half of it. That's a bargain.
But the Bulldogs are still sort of in financial crisis, aren't they? They're still in debt with the salary cap and shit, and they want to pay $400,000 for a great player like Luke Thompson to go early from his contract. That's fucking crazier the more I think about it, Nick.
You'd be mad to let him go. You'd be mad. But the Bulldogs, I don't know what's going on at Belmore down there, but I'm guessing Gus Gould had a look at all the players' salaries, and maybe Gus doesn't think he's worth the money. I don't have a fucking clue, but I'd be paying Luke Thompson $700,000 a season. I'd be all over him. He's a great player. I'd be all over him. Anyway, let's move on to the other one I should mention as well, with the signing Corey Jensen from the Cowboys coming to the Broncos. Do you have any issue with that at all?
Nah, none at all, mate. Just cleaning out some dead wood, aren't we there?
I like Jensen. I've always liked him as off the bench, but he has been a bit up and down, hasn't he?
He's worth a couple of areas every time he took the paddock, as far as I can recall. But I hope nothing but the best for the young man.
Well, if he's going to Brisbane, I hope nothing but the worst for him if he goes to Broncos.
He could be looked at like that too, yeah.
Our biggest rivals taking one of our young players. Yeah, all right, typical. Anyway, topic number 3. Now, this is one that is a little bit touchy. So if you're a Dragons fan out there, don't get too offended by this. Anthony Griffin. Hang on, what happened to Sam?
I'm here.
Oh, there you go. I don't know what happened there. Your camera froze for a second. I don't know what happened there. Anthony Griffin. Apparently, he wanted to name Jack de Belin as the captain this weekend in the Dragons game against the Roosters up there at Rockhampton on Sunday. And apparently, the Dragons board and a lot of the people there were saying, no, don't you dare do that. No, blah, blah, blah. And you can just imagine the rest. You can imagine the chaos. The Dragons board said no. I've got a big problem with this whole situation, but, mate, what are your thoughts on the club not allowing Anthony Griffin, who is the coach of the 17 players that are named, not allowing de Belin to be the captain this weekend?
I get that Jack de Belin has had a bee in his bonnet since he's come back. He just wanted to come out and prove himself. Unfortunately, 2 weeks into that endeavour, he broke the New South Wales COVID lockdown rules, bro, and he hid underneath the bed. And for some reason, Anthony Griffin wants to make that cunt the captain of the club this weekend. Why? You can't do that. No, that's an absolute piss take, mate. I don't know why I like Anthony Griffin. I don't know why he is considering making him the captain, but the board really shouldn't interfere with the coaches' playing rules, because in 2 weeks' time, Jack de Belin would have played as captain, and we might have all forgotten about it. But for right now, man, you can't make that some bitch a captain for your club, mate. He's an absolute embarrassment. Sorry, man.
This is where we're gonna disagree, I think. I have no fucking problem with it. Why not? Look, here's the thing. That whole scandal with that woman where he was out of the game for 2 years and all that situation, de Belin was clean the whole fucking time. Now, go back before that whole situation started. I think it was 2019 or whatever year it was, 2018. 2018 was I think, his last full year in the game.
Yep.
Going into 2019, going into 2020, if he was still playing, there's a very high chance right now that de Belin could have been captain of the Dragons. There's a high chance of that because he was playing Origin. He was a great leader at the club and all that situation. Obviously, 2 years out of hell for him. He's back. Yes, he was at a barbecue and he was hiding under the fucking bed, which I still find hilarious to this day. But for the Dragons board to be so panicky and to be so freaking out about naming him captain, what are they freaking out about? The Dragons wanted him back. The Dragons allowed him to play for the club still after all that what happened, but they're so freaked out about him being captain for one game. One game. They're freaking out about it. One game. Really?
So maybe he might be the full-time captain come next year, mate. Maybe not. That's when Ben Hunt
I can imagine the sponsors will be freaking out too.
Oh, absolutely, man. There's just such a negative light following that bloke around. Why don't you put the captaincy onto Tarek Sims, man?
Well,
He's been an absolute stall. Oh, they are. They have. Yeah, well, there you go, man. But that's a laugh. Anthony Griffin trying to make Jack de Belin coach, and he's probably fair income. I think it's fucking out of this world to try and make that bloke captain.
It is a bit crazy, I will admit, but fuck me, Jack Bird, give him the captaincy. The bastard, he doesn't have to talk. He just goes out, he leads by his actions, Jack Bird. Let him be captain. Look at him. He's a freak.
No,
he's been killing him.
No, not even. He was involved in the COVID bubble as well. But
they all were there.
I know. They all knew about it too. I mean, Ben Hunt copped a text message and sat there for a second and thought about it, but refused. But yeah, man, I don't know what else to say, man. I think it's absolutely ludicrous that Jack de Belin was considered for captaincy this year. Maybe next year sometime throughout the season. Sure, if he's playing good footy and he doesn't fuck up throughout the off-season as well. So, yeah, but at this point in time, no way, man. No way. As a matter of fact, though, Nick, sorry, I can't recall the last time a board sort of said no to putting the C next to somebody's name. I can't remember that.
I can't either. I can't remember it. If it happened, someone refresh my memory because I can't remember it either.
I'm sure it's happened sometime, mate, but I just can't remember when.
I've got to say, though, on Jack de Belin, I think ever since his return, he's been playing some really good footy. I think it's been unnoticed by the media. The media won't talk about him because all they care about is bashing him. But I believe de Belin's been very solid since he's came back. I think, obviously, his first game back was a bit of a mixed bag when they had that big one over the Broncos, but he was obviously rusty. But I think he's been pretty good, Jack de Belin.
He's trying to keep up with the game. He's come back and he's trying to prove everyone right or wrong or what have you. And I'm not surprised that he's, hitting hard, digging the shoulders in and having a fair crack. It's now going to come to what happens and what he does next season, mate. And he's an elite athlete. He's fit as. But yeah, let's see what he. I want to, and you'll hear me say this not for the first time tonight. Let's see what happens next year, mate. Yeah,
and I suppose the other thing with Jack de Belin as well, because I think 2018 against the 2018 semi-final against the Bunnies was the last game he played until this year. The game had changed so much since he came back to the six again, and the game got so much quicker. So for de Belin to come straight back in, he's been training for all those 2 years when he was going through that hell with that other thing. But for Jack de Belin to keep himself really fit and to come back in and It literally took him 2 or 3 games to start playing really good again. I think it just shows that he's got some really good mental toughness there, Jack de Belin, and he has done some dumb things off the field. But when he's on the field, he has been playing some really good footy. So it's good to see. Hopefully the media can leave him alone, fucking assholes. But anyway, we'll move on. Topic number 2. This one's going to get very, very juicy, I reckon. It's about the Cowboys. Obviously, we've had another shit season. 4 years from hell, we might as well call it. 4 years in hell, whatever you want to call it. Valentine Holmes. We signed Valentine Holmes at the start of the 2020s preseason. He came in 2020. He's on $1 million a season. Ever since he came in, he hasn't set the world on fire. I guess the real question is Valentine Holmes a disease to the Cowboys, or should we still be patient? What do you reckon, Sam?
I just said that we should probably wait till next year, but for me to answer that question, because at the moment it's right at the tip of the iceberg, mate, and it's about to go either way. That I've been getting this sort of sixth sense that Valentine Holmes, he's not a team player so far as making that sacrifice to go out and play on that wing. I get the sense that he's come in and said, boys, I'm playing fullback. That's it. I don't want to go back to the wing or whatever. But when Hamiso has a couple of good games at fullback, a better appearance in that slot compared to what you've done over the past 18 months or so, or lack thereof because of all the injuries the bloke has had, mate, make the team sacrifice. If you want to win a competition, you've got to do those sorts of things. And at the moment, he's just a boulder that's not willing to push or play at the moment, mate. So, but again, it's Todd Payten's first year as coach. Let's have one more off season. We've said it once, we've said it twice. I'll say it again, Nick. I reckon Todd Payten's got 10 games to show what his game plan was this year. And he's got to execute maybe 6 wins, 5 wins at the very least in the first 10 rounds of season 2022. And Val Holmes needs to be our best player if he wants to keep the $1 million pay packet.
I'll tell you what, I think Val Holmes is a terrific winger. He's a great winger. I think fullback hasn't really been the best for Val Holmes. Now, I know he's had a few good moments this year against the Broncos and the Warriors, where he kicked the field goal to beat them twice this year, which was good. But he just hasn't been consistent at fullback. You know, over the years, the Cowboys have had great fullbacks. You know, Matty Bowen, Lachlan Coote, even Michael Morgan was great at fullback for that 1 year in 2014 for us as well. So we haven't had a really, really great fullback since probably Lachlan Coote, because he was really good for us when we won the premiership. But it's like Val Holmes is trying to be like Matty Bowen. I don't know what he's trying to do, but I think he needs to go to the wing, bro. I think Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow needs to have the full preseason at fullback, Val onto the wing, Talangi into the center, Hiku and Felt on the right-hand side of the field, and Talangi and Val on the left, and Hammer at fullback. That would be what I would be doing. Get Talangi to work on his defense. Get Val to be a great winger again. I don't think it's a disease to the club or anything like that. I just think he needs to find that grit, find that consistency again. I think he needs to be on the wing.
Yeah, I don't think he's a disease per se, but he's very stubborn. I don't know the bloke for a bar of soap, but just from looking from the outside in, he seems very stubborn about wanting to play fullback, come hell or high water. Look, the question is then, would you rather a speed pocket rocket in Hammer to be a fullback, or would you rather have Valentine Holmes at fullback, who still has speed but probably has a better passing game than Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow? That's the question that Todd Payten and we have to ask ourselves. And at the moment, I'd rather go for the speed because the passing game and the structure, whatever Valentine Holmes thought he could do, what he did back in 2016, it hasn't worked last year and it's not working this season, mate. So I'd go for the speed over the structured, good ball playing at the moment, man.
In my opinion, bro, the Cowboys need to change the way they play. Their style is terrible. They need to change the way they play. Val on the wing is a better idea. Some people are talking about putting Val in the centres. Again,
maybe.
Why not? It's worth a crack. Everyone talks about, you're not going to pay him $1 million to put him on the wing or in the centres. Here's the thing. It's about how they play. I don't give a fuck how much money he's on. Get him in the right position. Put him on the wing. Try him at centre. I don't give a shit. Stop talking about the money situation. Just get him in the team that has the right balance. It needs to be somewhere else. He can't be playing fullback. It needs to be on the wing or in the centres.
Oh no, but you're just wasting money if you're having a winger earn $1 million. Well, that winger, there's nothing stopping that winger sprinting into the middle of the paddock from 40 yards out and having a crack at that field goal like we know he can, mate. There's nothing stopping him from still injecting himself into the play, mate, for sure.
Well, if you have a look at it, they should give him a license, a bit like what New South Wales did in Origin with Turbo on the trail. Just let him come in, let him roam the field, let him come in for a scoop and dummy half. Back in the day when Parramatta were playing, I think it was like 2009, 2010s, Luke Burt was on the left wing. Luke Burt would occasionally come in and kick a field goal to win the game if its scores leveled up. He used to be that sort of option. Val Holmes could be the same thing. You can play on the wing, come in for a scoop here and there, get the sets rolling. You can come in and kick the winning field goal if required. So, Parramatta did it with Luke Burt for years. The Cowboys should do it with Val. Get Val on the wing. Get him on the wing. It needs to happen. Hammer at fullback. He's the future. Throw the goddamn checkbook at him. He's an unbelievable player. He's a once-in-a-generation player, the Hammer. And I think Val Holmes' time at fullback is starting to catch up to him, and I think it needs to go to the wing or maybe the centres.
Yeah, but again, mate, we'll ask this question 10 rounds into the next season.
Oh,
mate,
we will.
Yeah.
You're saying Todd Payton's got 10 weeks next year. I reckon he's got about 6 because the Cowboys at the start of this year, I think they had 10 of their first 14 in Queensland, and we were shithouse at the start of the year. So the draw
next year. More problems, yeah. Yeah, we've got more problems than Valentine Holmes, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree. The draw next year will be very important. Our draw has to be decent, but we'll see how we go. Anyway, let's move on to the final topic of the show. Now, I was listening to this tonight. We all know that the 17th NRL team is going to be in Queensland, whether it be Ipswich, Mackay, Redcliffe, wherever the hell it may be. Personally, I'm hoping it's the Redcliffe Dolphins. But the 18th team, because you got to have an even competition. You can't have an odd competition. You need to have 18 teams. Where should the 18th NRL team be located? There's talk of Perth. There's talk of New Zealand, Central Coast. Should it be somewhere else that I'm not even talking about? Where should the 18th NRL team be, in your opinion, Sam?
I'm going to be a little bit optimistic here and sort of say Warriors are going to win a comp in the next 5 years. And I think the NRL needs to be quick on the hammer, and they need to inject a second New Zealand side. I think there is some really good karma coming the way from the Warriors. I think their squad looks great for next season. The Warriors should get, I don't know, they should only travel to Australia 3 times next season if all things are going well, and popularity will grow in the Warriors. It's such an important year for many, many different reasons for the Warriors in 2022. And if they do what we all hope they do, and that's make the finals, even host a home semi as well, you've got to get on the back foot of that and start feeding the hungry rugby league fans that are sort of dormant at the moment in New Zealand, man. I'd love to see a second New Zealand side. And if I may, I'll answer your question twice. And the second option, if it's not New Zealand, to make it truly the National Rugby League, it's got to be a Perth team. They've got HBF Park over there. They've already got some sort of license with the West Coast Pirates, which I think is sick, just quietly. And yeah, I also, just back on New Zealand quickly, I think the ticket would be Wellington Orcas or the South New Zealand Orcas or something like that. That's a cool name as well, man. But 18th team for me would be New Zealand.
Interesting. I find it very hard because there's so many good options you could do. Now, New Zealand would be good because the Warriors will have a new rivalry. It'll be great. The New Zealand Warriors versus the I don't know where it would be. Wellington, I don't know where it would be. Auckland, who knows? Could have a massive New Zealand rivalry. There's also Perth as well, which would be fun because Perth would play a lot of games on Sunday or Saturday. The time difference would be great because think of it this way. If there's a game on in Perth, it could be kicking off at like 9 p.m. New South Wales time. Going to bed at midnight, watching the footy, how fucking good's that for a weekend? Seriously, unreal, bro. That would be great, especially with the broadcaster. You wouldn't have Perth games at home on a Thursday or Friday night because it just would not work. But Saturday and Sunday would work out really, really well. And then you've got my favourite, the Central Coast. It's a fucking no-brainer. I've been saying this for years now. I don't know how long I've been saying it. Everyone talks about, there's too many teams in Sydney, too many teams in New South Wales, blah, blah, blah. The competition started in New South Wales to begin with, and I think Central Coast, they've got an incredible ground, Central Coast Stadium. We all know how good that ground is. It's been used plenty of times during the pandemic. It's a great rugby league area. You got people there. They love rugby league. I think Central Coast, it has a great stadium. It has their own leagues club, I believe. It has money behind them. I think Central Coast is an absolute no-brainer. And the other thing as well, Central Coast isn't even in fucking Sydney. It's a no-brainer. It has to happen. I don't care about Perth. Perth works maybe Saturday and Sunday. It works on the 2 weekends.
Yep.
But it doesn't work on a Thursday or a Friday night. New Zealand at the other end, again, it works okay for the broadcast on a Friday, like the early game. It works on the weekend as well, but does it work for the broadcaster? Does it work for, because rugby union's so big in New Zealand, does it have enough players over there for rugby league? That's the other real question I have as well. And with Perth, do they have enough? Financial thing over in Perth? Do they have enough talent over there? Do they have enough? It's an AFL town. They got fucking West Coast and Fremantle over there in the AFL. It'd be very hard to get everyone just to go, oh no, don't go to Optus Stadium, watch West Coast Fremantle. Come over here to this ground here. Come on some rugby league. I'll tell you, they get fucked. Probably, I reckon. You go to Central Coast on the other end. Oh, mate, people are going out there all the time. I reckon if they went to the Central Coast and had the Central Coast Bears, I reckon my good friend Entertain House, he would be at every second game because he would be. So, come on, Central Coast Bears, come on, get it going, come on.
Dude, have you been to Central Coast Stadium, Nick?
No, I haven't, but I'd love to go.
I'm not boasting, man. I have, and it's every bit as good as what you think it is, man. It looks great. It's such a pristine, top location. Obviously, you said it there. The Leagues Club is literally next door. It's such a good place to watch footy, but I think that train's gone, man. That train could have eventuated 5 years ago at maximum, definitely 15 years ago when it was hot to trot. Cronulla Sharks, maybe relocation. That's what's been tossed up. That's not my opinion. That's just what's been tossed up. And it would fit as well, man. But Central Coast deserve more than 3 games a year when we get back to normality. That's for sure.
I think it has to happen. I really do. I think it'd be great for the game, and Central Coast would instantly have a rivalry with the Newcastle Knights as well. So, come on, let's get it going. I'll tell you one thing as well. A little story back in the day when they had that old rugby league World Cup edition game, the 2008 one, and they had I think it used to be called Blue Tongue Stadium back in the day, Central Coast. And I remember playing the game and you fucking kick the conversion. It'd go over the post. It'd go through the palm trees. It'd go onto the fucking road. I've always pictured going there and just kicking through the palm trees and onto the road. Watch out for the car. Look out! Bang! Straight into a fucking car.
Oh, dude, plenty of footies have fallen into the Brisbane River, mate. That's 100% fact.
No doubt. But You reckon New Zealand, which would be great?
I do.
I like Central Coast personally. Perth would be very interesting as well. It'd be great for the weekends, Saturday night footy, you got the first game at 3 o'clock, 5:30, 7:30, and then you got, hang on a minute, we got one game coming on at 9, 10 p.m. in Perth. It's the Perth.
Why couldn't it though? Why couldn't Perth work on a Friday night though? You have your 6 o'clock game, your 8 o'clock game, and then they kick off at 8:30 their time over there. It's 10:30 or 10 o'clock over here, sort of thing.
Nah, I don't think it'd work.
Too late?
Yeah, it'd be too late, and the broadcaster wouldn't like it, I don't think, that late. Especially there. Like, Thursday night football would never work in Perth. It would never work. It'd be fucked. It'd be fucked. If anyone watches the AFL, every time the AFL have a game in Perth on a Thursday night, it's never really the best thing to do because it never works. It never works. But, even on Saturday afternoon, Perth could start at like 12. First game at 3 o'clock. I think it'd be great. And I think Perth, I'll tell you what, if Perth came in the NRL, I would not have a problem with it at all. I think it'd be great. I would not have a problem with it. But Central Coast needs to stop being overlooked, and I think it needs to be looked at. But New Zealand, another one which would be very good for the game as well. But anyway, mate, they're the topics all done out of the way. Let's get into the round of footy, mate. We've got some big games this weekend.
Yeah, definitely, mate. So just before you go on with the round, mate, I do just have one question, and I do want to get your opinion on it. In chat, leave your answers in the comments below as well. So semi-finals are just around the corner, and Team 1 and Team 2 have the option to exercise where they want to play. Now, Melbourne Storm are going to choose Suncorp Stadium. That's a given. But a team like Panthers, they can choose to play at Suncorp, or they could choose to take it up to Townsville for their home semi-final. And same for Teams 5 and 6. Do you think, Nick, that the NRL will take that option away from them, or do you think they still deserve the right to choose where they can and want to play?
Well, I think they should be able, if they finish first or second or fifth or sixth, where they get a home final in the first round of the finals, they should be able to choose where they would like to play. Now, obviously, the NRL will give them options. They'll probably table a bunch of stadiums on the ground and say, right, where do you want to play? What's the best idea? Melbourne will be at Suncorp Stadium. There is absolutely no doubt about that. They haven't lost that since 2009, so that's an absolute no-brainer. Penrith or South, whoever gets second spot, I guess that game will be determined Friday night. But they should be able to choose where they can play. I don't think the NRL can just say, oh, no, you got to play here. It's what we have to do. They should have the option of where they can play, But like I said, the NRL will probably say, okay, you got these two grounds to choose from, all this and that. Take your pick, and we'll give you the time slot and the day you play. I think it should be up to the club, but the NRL will probably give them options on where they can and where they can't go.
Yeah, I just fear that they don't defeat their own purpose and sort of say, look, we're going to have a double header with crowds coming in and whatnot, so there'll be more than 25,000 people at Suncorp Stadium on a Saturday weekend, sort of thing. Instead, there actually will be 50,000 people walking around a capped Suncorp Stadium during the final series. So I wouldn't want them to sort of stick their foot in it, sort of thing. And yeah, I just like to see Townsville QCB Stadium host a final as well, mate. I think it should. Yeah,
I think it should as well. But I think I think the Storm will choose Suncorp. There's no doubt about that.
Oh yeah.
I think if the Rabbitohs get second, I reckon they'll choose Seabus because they've been playing some really good football there, and they have been playing a lot of games at Seabus, the Rabbitohs. So I think they're really enjoying that ground. So I reckon South and Penrith will both choose Seabus if that is the case. Yep. Manly will probably choose Suncorp, in my opinion. Yep. Parramatta, who knows for Parramatta? I think they will go regional, Parramatta. Yep. I think that, maybe Rockhampton, maybe Redcliffe, I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see how it all goes. But I think Melbourne will definitely pick Suncorp. I really do. For sure. But anyway, let's get into the round of footy. Round 23 of the NRL kicks off tomorrow night at Seabus Super Stadium on the Gold Coast. It is the Gold Coast Titans up against the Melbourne Storm. Storm $1.10, Titans at $7. This game's at $7.50 Thursday night. Sam, what do you reckon for this one? And give me a try scorer.
Yeah, man. I was a bit dismissive about it in my tips for this game. But Jerome Hughes isn't playing. Nelson Asafa-Solomona isn't playing. I think they've got another out for the Melbourne Storm. So they are a bit affected on the team list front, but that's not going to stop them winning by 13 plus against the Gold Coast Titans, who got brought back down to reality really hard last week against South Sydney. And I've got Nico Hines, who's got the number 7 on his back. I've got him as an anytime try scorer in this game.
So you're going Storm 13 plus and Nico Hines to score, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, look, I think Melbourne win this game, and I think they win really, really well. I can't see the Gold Coast scoring more than 10 points tomorrow night. Brimson's a huge loss. Fodawaker's not there. Yeah, good luck, Gold Coast, but it's going to be a very, very one-sided game. I think Melbourne win. National Bulldogs just said I got Titans winning 24-18. You must be off your fucking rocket. National Sports loaded.
And it's a really, and Nick, it's a massive game for another reason too. I mean, their for and against the Gold Coast is better than Newcastle, Canberra, Cronulla, St. George. They've got the best for and against out of everyone vying for that 7th and 8th spot at -30 or -40. If they get pumped by 50 plus tomorrow night, they've got to be so careful, Titans, man, because then they're right back into the pack because they have a slight advantage as far as finals aspirations go, with their for and against being pretty superior to everybody else around them.
Well, I'm sorry, Gold Coast fans, but your salary cap is going to get absolutely smoked tomorrow night. The Storm will win this game by 40 plus. It won't be pretty. And I'm going to go George Jennings to get a double. I reckon he'll score 2 tries. He's back, so I reckon he'll score tomorrow. Melbourne 13 plus, Jennings will score a double. Friday night, double header at Suncorp Stadium. The first game is kicking off at 6 p.m. It is the Canberra Raiders up against the Manly Warringah Seagulls. Manly $1.20. Canberra at $5. Sam, what do you reckon for this one?
Well, $5 would be tempting, mate, but I'm going to stick clear of it. This is the biggest, best Friday night doubleheader of the year so far, man. 2 awesome clashes, man, in prospect. I'm going to tip the Seagulls to win 1-12, actually, probably by 8 points. I think this will be close, man, even though Tom Turbo was set to play. And anytime try scorer, I'll go Morgan Harper.
Yeah, look, I'm with you. I think this game will be a lot closer than what everyone is picking. Everyone's going Manly 20, 30 plus. But the Raiders last week against the Melbourne Storm, they showed me that they can get up for these big sides. But the question I have with the Raiders is, how much did that game against Melbourne take out of them? But I guess the good thing is that they've had an 8-day turnaround, so it isn't the worst thing for them. You know, if this game was on if Raiders and Storm was on a Saturday and this game was on Friday or Thursday, then I'd be on Manly 13 plus. But I think Canberra's had a bit of a long turnaround, which is good for them. But I'm going to go Manly 1-12, and I'm going to go Josh Schuster to score a try. I reckon Schuster will score. I think he's due, Schuster. But Seagulls 1-12. I think it will be a good game of footy. Friday night, 8 p.m., Suncorp Stadium, game of the round, maybe the game of the year. Penrith Panthers, South Sydney Rabbitohs. Penrith $1.70, Souths at $2.15. Second versus third on the ladder. The winner of this game more than likely will finish second on the ladder. Sam, Panthers, Souths, who you got?
It's crazy to think that only 6, 7, 8 weeks ago, South Sydney got thumped by 50-plus points by Penrith and Dubbo, mate. This has a completely different feel and look to this clash. It's going to be a classic. But I think Penrith's defence is going to be more stout than South Sydney's. And I've got Charlie Staines. If he has been named, has Charlie Staines been named? If he has, I'm going to go him as a try scorer.
No, Charlie Staines is not named, bro.
No, then it'll be Stephen Crichton then out there on that edge that I think lines up against Graham and Mansour.
No, Johnson, bro. Johnson's back, so he'll be up against Johnson.
No, Johnson is actually playing on one side. Mansour has been selected to play on the other wing, man. So they're both in on opposite ends, mate.
Stephen Crichton's on the right side, which is the Rabbitohs' left side attack. So it'd be Alex Johnson versus Stephen Crichton.
Right then. Okay. Then I will go Momirovski.
Yeah, he's playing. Yeah, he's playing. Yeah.
I just think Penrith will get some luck and success down that edge. So I'll go Momirovski as an anytime try scorer. Penrith to win 1-12 in a beauty.
Yeah, look, this is going to be a blockbuster game. I cannot wait for this. Now, they did, like you said, a game at Dubbo where Penrith put 50 on Souths, but here's the thing. Souths are a different side. What the fuck's happened to Sam? You're back, mate. What happened? All good?
I'm here, man. I'm here, yes.
I don't know what happened there, but anyway, we'll move. Anyway, all good. But look, Penrith versus Souths. I played at Dubbo 8 weeks ago, and the Panthers put 50 on them. Souths are a different side to what they were back then to now. They're a much better team. South Sydney haven't beaten Melbourne or Penrith this year. They haven't beat any of those two real top two sides. I think this is very important for the Bunnies, and I've got a theory on this. If it's a wet night, I think the Panthers win. If it's a dry night, then the Rabbitohs win. And I looked at the weather; it's supposed to be 26 degrees. Dry conditions, so I'm going to go Souths 1-12 here. I think they're in better form at the moment. It's going to be a fucking tight game, but I'm going to go Souths 1-12, and I reckon Alex Johnson will score a double when he's returned on the left wing.
Yeah, man, there's some key ins for both clubs as well. Api Coruscant, Kirk Capewell is back in for Penrith. Dane Gagai and Cameron Murray are back in. I think it was Cameron Murray that's back in.
Yeah, he's back. Yep.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, man. There's some key ins for both clubs, man. It's going to be a belter.
And I'll tell you what, the key matchup for me, Cody Walker versus Jerome Luai. I can't wait for that battle. Cannot wait. I'm looking forward to this Friday night. Guys, as well, I'll mention as well, I'll be live streaming this game on Friday night.
Oh, true.
Penrith versus South, so tune in. It's going to be a very, very good game. Cannot wait. We're both going to disagree and go 1-12 the other way here, but I think it will be a great game. I cannot wait. It could be a grand final preview. You never know.
Could be. Yep. I agree.
You never know.
And yeah, when you're in that live stream tomorrow, chat, if you're tuning in, you make sure to go to that PayPal button and support Nick from Australia doing the live streams, mate. That's where it's at. That's the main event.
Well, much appreciated for that. It's very, very entertaining. Everyone's enjoying the live streams lately, especially the Cowboys Tigers one last week. I lost the plot watching that. But anyway, we'll move on to Super Saturday, the first game kicking off at 3 p.m. It is the West Tigers up against the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks. This game's being played at Brown Park. Where's Brown Park?
Rockhampton.
Rockhampton. That's Rockhampton. That's right. Tigers and Sharks. Sharks $1.55 here. The Tigers at $2.45. The loser of this game is absolutely gone. The winner goes on another week. Mate, who wins this one? Tigers, Sharks.
This is going to be such a weird game of footy, man. I have no idea what to expect, but I've tipped Cronulla Sharks. I know that Tigers have won 2 or 3 in a row and Sharks have lost now 3 or 2 in a row now. I just think Sharks are sort of better for finals footy, mate, and it's not better form. I just think they'll know how to win this really desperate clash as an anytime try. I mean, they're going to be fired up as well, man, because of Andrew Fafita too, who made a successful who had successful surgery and he'll make a full recovery. So all the best to Andrew Fafita. So I think Cronulla will come out firing with that reason on top of them playing finals footy. And I've got William Kennedy. I'll go William Kennedy to score a try, actually. I think he can show up the West Tigers a little bit with his speed and skill. Tell you what,
tough one to pick. Now, if you had told me 4 weeks ago who's going to win this game, I would have went Sharks. Probably 25 plus 3 or 4 weeks ago. But Tigers have been playing okay last couple of weeks. Now, something very interesting for you guys out there. These two sides have played against each other 32 times. Tigers have won 18 to the Sharks 13. So the Tigers have got a pretty decent record over the Sharks. But this game reminds me of that game of 2019 in the final round where they played at Leichhardt and all the Tigers had to do was win to make the 8. It reminds me of that, this game. And I just don't trust the Tigers enough I just can't see them winning. So I'm going to go the Sharks 1-12. This is going to be a really tight game, high-scoring game as well. So if you guys are having a bet, get on the overs. This game will be very high-scoring. I'm going to go the Sharks 1-12, and Will Kennedy to get a hat trick. Hat trick for Kennedy.
True.
He is going to destroy Moses Mbye at fullback.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think the scoreline will end up being something like 28-24 or something. It will be.
Yeah, bro. I think I had like 34-26 or something crazy. It'll be a high-scoring game, and whoever loses this game will be getting ready for the Mad Monday barbecue at Paul Vaughan's house. So get ready for that. Get ready for that on Mad Monday. But the other game on Saturday night at 5:30 at Sepa Super Stadium at the Gold Coast. It is the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs versus the Newcastle Knights. Knights are $1.20. Dogs are at $5. I think we'll keep this one short and sweet. Sam, what do you reckon?
If they're fair income about finals footy, Newcastle Knights get up and win this by 18 points at least. And I'll go Jake Clifford to actually score a field goal. And I can see them winning, or I want them to win to really solidify themselves. 31 points to 12 final scoreline.
I think the Bulldogs have got absolutely no chance here. Look, I think it was this time last year where the Bulldogs beat Newcastle when there was about a month till finals. I think the Bulldogs beat them 18-12 or something. I'm just having a look here on
might have happened a little earlier.
Actually, no. It was in July last year, July 26th last year.
Yeah.
It was a wet day in Newcastle, and the Bulldogs beat them 18-12. And I think everyone had doubts on Knights for finals in that game. But look, the Bulldogs have got nothing to play for here but pride. Luke Thompson's their only hope, but I don't think he could save them. Newcastle win this, and they win it really, really well. Knights by 30+. It won't be pretty. And I'm going to go Bradman Best to collect a double on Saturday night. The Knights will be far too good. The other game on Saturday night, it's a doubleheader at Seabus Super Stadium. Saturday night, 7:35 p.m. Seabus Super Stadium, Eels and the Cows. Eels $1.30, Cows at $3.50. Obviously, I'll be chucking 50 on the Cows. Hopefully, they don't fuck me again. But damn, Eels or Cows, bro? What do you reckon?
So I haven't had a perfect round of tipping footy this year. Just about up until last week. The one team I got 7 out of 8 last week. The one team that let me down was North Queensland.
Me too, bro.
Me too, man. You sons of bitches. So, look, they also, in my membership pack, they gave me some playing cards. See that? Kyle felt the Joker. Yeah, they're all a bunch of fucking jokers this year, you muppets. Fair income. I'm going to tip North Queensland still, though. They're my team. I think I don't even know how we can beat them, mate, but I'm just tipping them. Anytime try score. And look, there's a chance Hammer actually might play. He's actually having some contact in training over the past couple of days too, from what I've seen. But as an anytime try scorer, I'm going to go Reece Robson to pop out and scoot out from dummy half and score a try. North Queensland 1-12.
I like it. And what I've been hearing, I'm hearing Tamalolo will play off the bench. That's what I've been hearing.
Crazy,
so
man.
If he does, that's a massive inclusion. And the Hammer is 50-50, but it depends as well if they want to play him. But if Hammer does play, apparently he'll play on the wing and they'll shift Hampton to the bench. So we'll see what happens there. But look, I'm with you. I think the Cowboys can win this. The Eels have got absolutely no confidence. Everyone's talking about the Cowboys being bad. Look, the Cowboys have lost 9 in a row. They're shot to pieces as well. Parramatta are trying to fucking finish a home final. Well, not really a home final, but they're trying to avoid, potentially going out at 7th place. Because I think Newcastle can still get 6th spot if they win every game. So I think the Cowboys can win this. I have no confidence in either team. It's a toss of the coin, but I'm going to back the Cows 1-12 here, and I'm going to go with a Ben Condon try. Ben Condon.
Nice. Yeah.
Drinkwater, for fuck's sake. Do something this week, Drinkwater. I love Drinkwater. Please do something. Condon to score. Surely.
And I'll tell you, and I think I said this to you the other night as well, man. If North Queensland lose this game, it equals their second biggest, longest losing streak at 10 in a row, and their biggest losing streak ever is 13 in a row. So dark times in North Queensland this year, mate.
Well, I'll tell you another thing as well that is quite interesting. Now, the Cowboys' record against New South Wales teams is not the best, but we have a fairly good record over Parramatta. We've played Parramatta 40 times since coming into the competition. We've won 20. The Eels have won 19, and we've had one draw with them. So our record against Parramatta is actually quite good. So I think we can win this. I think, we've won two of our last three against Parramatta as well, which is quite interesting. But this week, the Cowboys are going to win 1-12, and Ben Condon is going to score a try, I reckon. I really do.
Thank heavens that this isn't being played at Bankwest Stadium, mate, because, man, we'd be looking at records, losing score lines, man.
Mate, if this was at Bankwest, I would be on Parramatta 26 plus. Dead set. But I'm glad it's in Queensland. Anyway, let's move on to Sunday afternoon football. The first game at 2:00. It is the St. George Illawarra Dragons up against the Sydney Roosters. A good rivalry game here. Where is this game being played at?
It's being played at Clive Berghofer Stadium in Toowoomba.
Oh, Toowoomba. Dragons Roosters, 2:00 Sunday at Toowoomba. Roosters are $1.30. The Dragons at $3.75. Mate, the Roosters keep getting injuries, but they keep fucking finding ways to win games. Last week they were extremely lucky. They shouldn't have won, but they did win. But, mate, can you trust the Roosters to get over the Dragons?
Yeah, I can, man. No, I'm tipping the Roosters. They've got more class. They've got just more grit and more to fight for and play for compared to St. George Illawarra Dragons. The one and only other time a match was played in Toowoomba, I think St. George beat the Gold Coast Titans by 50 points to 8 or something to that nature. So I've got James Tedesco still anchoring around that club and leading him around the paddock. I'll go Daniel Tupou to leap over one of the wingers out there to score a try. But, Dragons, man, they're obviously cooked.
The Dragons are my specials of the round. They will win. The Dragons will win, and Sam's laughing his ass off. So
I understand. I understand why, because I nearly tipped St. George as well, man. But I'm just going to go with with Roosters championship qualities and credentials, bro. Yeah, but I can understand why, because I nearly tipped Dragons myself. But I think Andrew McCulloch, we only spoke about him just before, but I think he's a massive loss for Dragons, man.
I think he's done fuck all. His defense is good. His attack's shit. I reckon the Dragons are absolutely specials of the round. I think they'll win this. The Roosters keep getting injuries. Victor Radley, he's a big loss around the ruck. This is a rivalry game as well. You got to remember, the Dragons will be up for this, and Matt Duffy's back in the side, which is great to see. They've got the young Amon in the halves, which I'm really looking forward to. The Roosters keep getting injuries. Last week, it did catch up to them, even though they didn't get the win when they shouldn't have. But I reckon the Dragons can win this. Jack Bird's in great form, and I'm liking the Dragons here. I reckon they can win this. It's going to be a huge upset. But I'm going the Dragons 1-12, and I reckon Zach Lomax will score a try. What's what Bunny Chick says here? Fine, you can say that. Well, it means Parramatta will win by 20 against the Cowboys. Fuck off, Bunny Chick. I'm going the Dragons 1-12 here for an upset. Lomax to score. I can't wait. I reckon this will be an entertaining game as well. High scoring game.
I do too, man. No, I'm looking forward to this Sunday, mate, for sure.
And you got to remember too, the Dragons are on a bit of a losing streak as well. They need to pull their finger out of their ass. They can still make the 8, which is just crazy to think. And I'm sick of hearing about the barbecue. It needs to be moved on now. Paul Vaughan's not at the club anymore. They need to move on from it and get on with it. They got a job to do. They don't get paid to sit around moping and woping about the barbecue. Move on with it. Pull your finger out of your fucking ass and turn up on Sunday and get a win over the Roosters. You can still make the 8 Dragons. What's wrong with you? Wake the fuck up. And, I know Ben Hunt's a big loss and they've got a few players out, but you other players that are in that side, you got to step up because this is NRL. The Dragons can still make the 8 and they don't even look being interested. So they got to wake up and they'll win this. Dragons
I
are much
agree. I agree because Roosters are just about putting out their second string side, and Dragons, man, save for Ben Hunt and another injury or two, man, they're almost at full strength in a way. So, yeah, no, they need to show Anthony Griffin and the members and fans something this Sunday.
I'm just sick of the excuses from the Dragons. You know, like every year they start the year well, and then at the back end they just fall off a cliff for some reason. I don't know if it's a mental thing. I don't know what it is, but the Paul Vaughan barbecue happened nearly 2 months ago now. They've got senior players there. They've got strike players out wide. There is no excuses. They beat teams earlier in the year. They beat Parramatta, who at the time were in the fucking top 4. So they are capable of winning these good games against these good sides, but they're going to wake up here. So Dragons will win this week. I reckon the specials of the round. And if I don't win this, I won't tip them again this year. But anyway,
yep.
Move on to the final game of the round. Sunday afternoon, kicking off at 4 p.m. Suncorp Stadium. Broncos versus the Warriors. Warriors $1.85. Broncos $1.95. Very interesting game, this one. What do you reckon, Sam?
So I think if Matt Lodge wasn't suspended, this was going to be his first game against Brisbane since joining up with the Warriors. I flipped a coin. I had to flip a coin. I have no idea who to tip. I don't even. Dallin Zalesniak will be a try scorer, but I flipped a coin and it came up Warriors, and that's all I can give you is I think this is going to be so fucking close. And just to correct myself from my own tipping video, man, last time they played these two clubs at Suncorp Stadium, ended up as an 18-all draw. One of the craziest draws I think I've ever seen as well, man. So this could be fucking anything this Sunday, man. It should be a beauty as well.
Yeah, look, it's going to be interesting, this game, because it's a very awkward game for the Warriors. I said last week, you know, in the Bulldogs versus Warriors game, the Warriors losing that game would be a typical thing for the Warriors to do because of the expectation. This is another one of those situations where the Warriors are expected to win, but the question is, will they get the job done? Broncos have been okay last couple of weeks, but I think the Warriors win this game, and I think the Warriors win well. I think they'll flog the Broncos on Sunday. I just think too much to play for. Reece Walsh obviously wasn't wanted by the Broncos as a young player, and now he's at the Warriors, absolutely killing it. So I reckon the Warriors win this game and win well. I don't like Anthony Milford back in the side. I think Milford will have about, 5 errors, 8 missed tackles.
Oh, no.
5 times the ball will be kicked the ball dead. He'll do one of those torpedo bombs out in the full 2 or 3 times. I just think the Warriors, they have to win, and I think the Warriors will win well on Sunday. Warriors 18 plus for mine, and I reckon Reece Walsh will get a hat trick.
Do you think they got that many points to get against Brisbane? Because Broncos will score some points themselves, man. I just don't know how Warriors can score that many points and win by that margin sort of thing, man.
Well, here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing. If you have a look at the Broncos' last 3 games, here's the thing, right? They lost by don't crash on me. So the Broncos' last 3 games, right? They conceded 21 to the Roosters, 28 against Newcastle, and what was it? 18 against the Cowboys. The Warriors have got points in them. The Broncos' defense is still a bit shaky for mine. I just think the Warriors are so much to play for, and personally, they're a much better team than the Broncos are. So I'm going to go the Warriors here. I reckon they'll win easy, and I reckon Reece Walsh will get a hat trick. Anything else you want to mention, bro?
No, thank you once again for having me, mate. This has been a really good show. It's a shame NRL Vid 090 couldn't join us tonight, but I'm sure he'll be back next week. And yeah, everyone, if you haven't already, subscribe to Nick from Australia's channel and support him through PayPal or the Super Chat as well.
Yeah, make sure you guys go and do that. Go and check out Sam's YouTube channel as well. If you don't, I'll be disappointed. But go and check out Sam and subscribe to him. It's much appreciated. But anyway, guys, have a fantastic Wednesday night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night for the Thursday night football review between the Gold Coast Scum and the Melbourne Scum. Till then, take care of yourselves, lads. See you later.
you, chat. See you, Nick. Thanks, dude. Adios.